Right, so Friday afternoon, and honestly, I've been sitting with these stories all day, and they're kind of wild.
The robot one?
Yes, Amazon buying a robotics company that makes four-legged delivery bots, but that's not even the wildest part.
OpenAI acquiring Astral is the one that caught me off guard.
Right? Like, they just bought the team behind the tools every Python developer uses. That's a different game entirely.
And the Mac Mini thing, that one made me laugh.
I know. Apple accidentally winning AI because their hardware happens to be perfect for local inference. Nobody saw that coming.
I did notice Best Buy shelves have been empty for weeks now. Didn't connect it until I read Azim's piece.
Okay, so let's start with the robot story because honestly, this one's been making me think all afternoon. Amazon just acquired RaiVR, that's a Swiss robotics company, and they make these wheeled-legged quadrupeds.
4 legs with wheels.
Exactly. And the thing that makes them different is they can climb stairs, handle gates, deal with gravel driveways, all the messy real-world stuff that exists between the warehouse and your front door.
Right, because Amazon tried this before, didn't they?
They did. Back in 2022, they killed Scout. That was the 6-wheeled delivery bot that looked like a cooler on wheels.
It was fine on flat ground. The moment it hit a curb, done.
And that's the whole problem, isn't it? Because most delivery routes aren't flat. They're stairs and gates and... my driveway is gravel. A wheeled bot would just sit there spinning.
Exactly. And that's why this acquisition matters. RaiVR is designed for the chaos, not the lab, not the demo, the actual world. And here's what gets me. Amazon isn't betting on perfect locomotion. They're betting on good enough physical AI, deployed at scale.
That's the strategic shift, because the engineering is impressive, sure. But the real story is, Amazon is saying we need robots that work in messy conditions, not robots that work beautifully in controlled environments.
And once they have that, they can deploy thousands of them.
Right? Like, think about that for a second. If you've got a bot that can handle 80% of delivery conditions, even if it's not perfect, that's enough to change the economics.
I'm keeping a tally at this point. This is the 4th major robotics acquisition in 3 months.
Wait, really?
Figure got acquired, Sanctuary made a strategic partnership, and now this. The pattern is, companies are betting on physical AI at scale, not research projects, deployment.
What?
I'm just thinking about what happens when these things start showing up on my street. Like, are people ready for that?
That's a really good question, because the tech might be ready, but the social acceptance piece, that's different.
We saw this with drones. The technology was there years before the regulations and public comfort caught up.
And honestly, I'm not sure how I feel about it. Like, part of me thinks this is brilliant. Part of me thinks I quite like seeing the delivery driver.
Yeah, there's a human element there that gets lost, isn't there? Okay, so moving on, because the next one is genuinely fascinating. OpenAI has acquired Astral.
And that's the team behind...
UV and Rough, 2 of the most essential tools in the Python ecosystem.
Right, so if you're a developer, you probably use these every day without thinking about it. They make Python faster, cleaner, easier to work with.
Okay, so why does OpenAI want this?
Because it's no longer enough to have a good model. You need to own the workflow, the tooling, the IDE, the whole stack.
And OpenAI isn't alone, right? Like, this is a pattern.
Anthropic just expanded Claude with channels. Replit shipped Agent 4 with a redesigned interface. Everyone is moving in the same direction.
Which is controlling the tools developers use.
Exactly, because whoever controls the tooling controls the ecosystem.
Okay, but think about what that means. Like, really think about it. If you're a developer, you're not just using OpenAI's model anymore. You're using their package manager, their linter, their IDE integration. That's lock-in.
Oh, man.
What?
That's Microsoft in the 90s all over again, isn't it? Own the tools, own the developers.
It's a similar playbook, different era, same strategy.
And here's the thing. I don't think this is necessarily bad. Like, if the tools are genuinely better and they make development faster, that's good for everyone, right?
Until you want to switch, and then you realize your entire workflow is dependent on their stack.
That's the risk. The integration creates value, but it also creates dependency.
So what do you do? Like, if you're a developer watching this happen, what's the move?
Honestly, use the tools, but stay aware of what you're committing to. Don't sleepwalk into dependency.
And keep an eye on open alternatives, because the moment the community senses lock-in, they'll build an escape hatch.
That's actually reassuring, like, the open source community has form for this.
They do, but it takes time, and in the meantime, the AI labs are consolidating fast.
Right. Okay, so let's talk about Replit Agent 4, because this one's interesting for different reasons. So Replit just shipped Agent 4, and the changes are subtle but really smart.
What changed from Agent 3?
2 big things. First, they replaced design mode with an infinite design canvas, which sounds like jargon. But what it means is, you can now collaborate with the AI without the fork and merge workflow that made Agent 3 feel clunky.
You just work together, in real time, on the same canvas.
Exactly. And the other shift is, the AI now plans while building. Instead of designing everything up front, then building, it iterates as it goes.
Which is how humans actually work.
Right? You don't architecture the entire thing in your head before writing the first line of code. You figure it out as you build.
And this matters because AI-assisted development is still frustrating. The back and forth can feel slow. Replit is trying to make it feel faster, more collaborative.
I'm curious to see how this plays out in practice, because the theory is great, but the test is always, does it actually save time?
Have you tried it yet?
Not Agent 4, I used Agent 3 for a bit. And honestly, it was hit or miss. Sometimes brilliant, sometimes I just wanted it to stop helping.
Ha, yeah, I know that feeling. Okay, so Anthropic's doing something similar but different. They announced channels.
Which is genuinely clever.
Yeah, so basically, you can now push events into a running Claude session through messaging platforms, Slack, Teams, whatever your team uses.
Wait, so the AI can live in Slack?
Not just respond to questions, actually do something when an event happens. Run a query, update a document, kick off a workflow.
And this is what makes AI agents actually useful, right? Not the intelligence of the model, but the integration into workflows people are already in.
Because if I have to switch context to use an AI tool, I probably won't. But if it's already in Slack, where I live all day, that's different.
Exactly. This expands the surface area for agent integration. The AI isn't sitting in a separate interface waiting for you. It's embedded in the tools your team already uses.
And this is the shift we're seeing across the board. Integration matters more than capability. The technology that wins is the one people can actually use without rewriting their entire workflow.
Which brings us to, and honestly this one made me laugh, Mac Minis. So Azim Azhar wrote something this week that made me stop and think.
The Apple piece?
Yeah, he argues Apple is becoming the most important hardware company for AI. Not because of research breakthroughs, but because Mac Minis are sold out everywhere.
And the reason they're sold out is organizations are buying them for local AI inference.
Wait, really?
Yeah, so here's what's happening. As frontier AI models become rate limited by data center capacity, running inference locally shifts from nice to have to necessary.
And Apple's unified memory architecture, which was designed years ago for graphics, turns out to be nearly perfect for transformer models.
So they built an AI strategy by accident.
Basically. And now they're capturing enormous value through distribution and trust. People trust Apple hardware, IT departments know how to deploy it, and it just works.
Azim's example is brilliant. A company of 100,000 employees might add 25,000 Mac Minis to their estate. If a team of 8 needs 2, that's not consumer demand, that's infrastructure.
And Best Buy shelves are empty.
Right? Like, it's not because people want faster laptops, it's because organizations are buying local AI infrastructure.
That's kind of brilliant. Apple is winning AI, not through models, not through research, but through hardware that happens to be perfect for running inference locally.
And they didn't plan it. They just built good hardware, and now the market is using it in ways they never intended.
This is the pattern we keep seeing. The winners aren't always the ones with the best strategy. Sometimes they're just the ones with the right infrastructure at the right time.
Okay, so last one, and this is from the builders category, but it's genuinely important. It's a security breakdown. 7 attack surfaces in autonomous AI trading agents.
Oh man.
Yeah, so the piece covers prompt injection, oracle manipulation, non-deterministic execution, excessive privilege, all the ways an AI agent with real-world permissions can go wrong.
And if you're not in crypto or DeFi, some of that might sound like jargon, but the core idea applies to any AI agent with real-world permissions.
Because we're building agents that can move money, execute trades, sign transactions.
Exactly, and if those agents are vulnerable, the damage is instant and irreversible.
The piece walks through each attack surface with code examples, how to defend against prompt injection, how to validate Oracle data, how to limit privilege.
And this is where I get nervous, because a lot of people are building agents without thinking through the attack surface.
Yeah, like, the tech is moving faster than the security practices.
Which is always dangerous, but especially when money is involved.
If you're building anything with AI agents that touch money, this one's worth coming back to, seriously.
Right, and honestly, I think this applies beyond trading. Like, if you're building an agent that has access to customer data, or can make purchasing decisions, or can change system configurations, the same principles apply.
The more autonomous these systems become, the more critical security becomes. And right now, we're in a phase where autonomy is growing faster than security maturity.
Which is not ideal.
Not ideal is putting it mildly.
Okay, so looking across everything today, a few things stand out. First, Amazon's RiVR acquisition isn't just about robots. It's about a strategic shift toward practical physical AI at scale. Good enough, deployed everywhere, beats perfect in the lab.
Second, the AI labs are consolidating power over developer tooling, OpenAI acquiring Astral, Anthropic shipping channels, Replit redesigning Agent 4. It's not just about models anymore, it's about owning the entire workflow.
And third, Apple is accidentally winning AI infrastructure through Mac Minis. Not because they built an AI strategy, but because the hardware happens to be perfect for local inference.
And honestly, that last one is my favorite, because it's a reminder that sometimes the winners aren't the ones with the best plan. They're just the ones who built something solid, and the market found a use for it. What do you think? Are you seeing Mac Minis disappear from shelves where you are? Let us know in the comments.
If you take one thing away from today, it's this. The AI story is shifting from model capabilities to deployment infrastructure. Who controls the tools? Who owns the hardware? Who has the distribution?
That's where the real competition is happening now.
Right, okay, so that's it for today. Thanks for listening. All the links and sources are in the show notes at luma.marbl.codes. And if you're watching on YouTube, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Oh, and quick mention, if you're building an AI or looking to hire AI talent, check out Atlas AI Talent. Link in the description. See you next time.